Hey guys, what's up? Ben here from NoCode. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build this vertical slider using the slider component and Webflow Interactions. So this tutorial is going to be a little bit more advanced than the others because it's a pretty complex component. But if you follow the tutorial step by step, you'll get to learn how to build this vertical slider. Okay, let's get started. Quick reminder as usual before we start this tutorial, if you want to visit the live preview of this vertical slider or clone it in your Webflow dashboard, I put the links in the description, so go check it out. Now, before we jump into Webflow, let's first have a look at what's going on when I play with this slider. So this vertical slider is really a component I love because the user experience is great, the design is great, it looks really beautiful. So half of the page is the image and half of the page is the text. So the title, the text and the link. So yeah, it's really modern and smooth design. So I really like it. All right, let's jump into Webflow. So as usual, I divided my project in two parts. So here's the top part is the template, which is the finished slider. And the bottom part here is when I'm going to rebuild this vertical slider. All right, let's start with the structure of the template. So in this template, we start with a container. Inside this container, I have two div blocks. One is the slider wrapper. So it's half of my page here, containing the images. It's the slider. And the second wrapper is the second half of my page, which is the text, so title, text, and link. So I called it the content wrapper. So in the first wrapper, the slider, so I have a slider component, which contains those elements, so the mask where you can find the slides, and two a left arrow, right arrow, and the slide navigation. In those slides, I put here a div block, which is the background image. And so each slide contains a div block with the background image. So that's it for the slider wrapper. And in the content wrapper, I have three div blocks, which contains a title, text block, and a link. So this text wrapper, it's actually here the content for each slide. So I have three slides, so three text wrapper. All right, let's rebuild this in my new area here. So I start with a div block container. So let's go get a div block. Okay. And inside this div block, I have two other div blocks. So I'm gonna select here this div block, copy paste, and drag it inside this one, and then copy paste a second time. So I have now two div blocks. In my first div block here, I have a slider component. So I'm going to get the slider component at the bottom here on the element panel. So here's my slider. So this default slider, Webflow slider, it contains the mask, two arrows, and the slide nav. So basically, I have all those elements here already in my part here. I just need to add the background image div block. So I'm going to go in the mask here, slide 1, and I want to add a div block, which is going to contain my background image. So actually this slide 2 here I can delete, and I'm going to build the first slide and then copy paste two other times to get three slides, because if you look at here, the structure of this slider is the same, three times the same. It's just a different image. And actually, I'm going to do exactly the same with the content to save some time. So this is for the slider wrapper, this one here. So the second wrapper is the content wrapper. So I need a div block here with an H2, a text block, and a link. So I'm going to select this one here, and I need another div block, which contains an H2, a text block, So h2, which is a heading here, h2, and a text block. Here is the text block, and this link here is actually a link which is available in my free UI kit here. So it's a link with an interaction already built on the arrow. So what I'm going to do is just copy paste it from the UI kit. So if you're interested on how to build this link, I already recorded a video on my YouTube channel, so I'll put the link in the description. So I'm just gonna, so I'm here in my UI kit. I'm gonna copy and select my div block and paste here my link. Okay, so now this text wrapper here, I'm not gonna build those other two ones, because first I'm gonna build the first one, style it, and then copy paste it 2 times to get the text 2 and text 3, because it's the same. If you look at here, the styling and the structure is exactly the same. So I don't want to have to do twice the styling if I can do it once and copy paste it. All right, now let's start styling those elements. So the first element here is the container. So the container, I need a display flexbox, align center, justify center, and a height of 100 VH. So 100 VH, it means the whole height of the viewport of the screen. And I need a max width of 1500 pixels. So that's when you have very wide screens. I don't want it to go too wide, so I limit max width to 1500 pixels. So let's style this one. So here is my container. So I'm going to call it container. Yep. So I need a display flex, horizontal, center, center. I need the height of 100 VH and a max width of 1500 pixels. Okay. Anything else? No. So we are good with the container styling. So inside this container, here. So I'm going to style first the slider wrapper. So this is a slider wrapper. I need a display flex, horizontal, center, center, a width of 50 VW. So VW, it means the width of the screen. So 50% of the width of the screen. Let me close this one. So here is the first wrapper, slider wrapper. So I'm going to call it slider wrapper, and so I need a display flex, center, center, a width of 50 VW. Okay, if I go back to my template, so 50 VW and height of 100 VH. So same, I want the height of the whole screen. Slider wrapper, height 100 VH. All right. Position relative, the index 2. So I need a position relative because then I'm gonna use the absolute positioning for the nav bar, for the slide navigation and the slides. So I need to set a relative component. So it's gonna be my slider wrapper here. So I need the position relative, the index 2. Okay. Then I think we are done. Yes. So we are done with the styling of the slider wrapper. So inside the slider wrapper, I have the slider here. Do I need a special styling? Yes, I need a width of 100 VH and a height of 50 VW. So if you look at this, so I use on the width, I use VH, which should be here, but because it's a vertical slider, then if you look at the bottom here, I need to transform a rotation 90 degrees here. So I have to switch the width is actually the height and the height is actually the width because there is a 90 degrees rotation of the component. So it's a bit tricky, but that's what you have to use to build this vertical slider. So I need width of 100 VH and height of 50 VW. So I'm going to call it this one here, slider. So 100 VH and height of 50 VW. Okay. Position relative again. So position relative, it's already there, nice. And yes, this transform here to make it, so as you see here, you can see the slider is horizontal. I see like here is the left arrow, here's the right arrow, so it's horizontal. And I'm going to use the transform here to rotate 90 degrees to make it vertical. So slider, transform, I want to rotate 90 degrees. And now you can see here is my left arrow on the top, so it means the slider is 90 degrees on the side. Okay, I think we're done with the styling of this slider. Right. Inside the slider I have the mask, I have 2 arrows and the slide nav. So the slider, I have the mask, 2 arrows, slide nav. Those arrows I'm going to hide it because in my design there is, I don't use them, so I'm just going to hide those arrows. You cannot delete them. If you delete them, the component is gone, so you have to hide them here on the styling. So I'm just going to use here this button, hide. Same with the right arrow, hide. And the slide nav here, if I look at the slide nav, I need a position absolute with a -50 pixels on the top, 0% left, 0% right, and auto at the bottom. So absolute is already there. I'm going to call it slide nav. Oops. So absolute is already set. So I need -50 pixels on top, 0% left, 0% right, and auto at the bottom. If I look at my here, the template, I'm good. And I need a z-index of 999, so all the way to the top. It's the element I want to go above all of them. Okay. Back there, and I need, so the size is 15 pixels, so the size of those dots, I want them to go 15 pixels, and I think we are done. So slide nav size is 15. All right, now let's go inside the mask. I mean, this mask, did I style it? No, not yet. So the mask is once again width of 100 VH, and I think that's it. Yes. So I want the mask to go, I'm going to call it mask width of 100 VH. All right, and now you see the slider is taking the whole height of my project here. Okay. And inside the slider, inside this mask, sorry, where am I? Okay, I'm going to close those ones here. So inside this mask, I have 3 slides. So the first slide, I think there is no styling. Yeah, so I don't need anything for this slide here. But in there is a div block I have to style. So this background image is the div block which contains the image of those those monuments. So I need a width of 100% and a height of 100%. So the whole to cover the whole mask, and I need a background picture, which is the monuments. So here I am. I'm going to call this one background image slide 1. So I have to make a new class for each slide because it's a different image. So if I use here the background image on one slide and then reuse the class name, I'm going to get the same image. So I cannot get 2 different images. So that's why I'm going to use two different class names. So here is my background image slide 1. I'm going to get the background image, choose image, and I want the Taj Mahal. I'm going to set cover in the center, no tile. All right. I don't forget to set 100% width and 100% right. All right. Okay, here's the slide nav is not placed at the right position. Let's have a look. And okay, slider wrapper. I think it's because, yeah. So I have this slider here, position relative, but I have to force it relative. I don't know why, but yeah. And here I get my slider wrapper, still not. Okay, what's going on there? Slider. Okay, maybe, okay, we'll have a look later, doesn't matter. Okay, let's close this slider wrapper and let's style the content wrapper. So here's my div block is the content wrapper. I need 70 pixels padding top, width of 50 VW and height of 100 VH. So I'm going to call this one the content wrapper. I need 70 top padding, width of 50 VW, 100 VH height, and position relative. What else? That's it. Okay. Inside this content wrapper, I have my 3 text wrappers. So the first, the text wrapper, I need a margin left 100 pixels and right padding of 20 pixels. So I'm going to call this element here the text wrapper, text wrapper slide 1. I have to make a difference between each text wrapper. So the slide 1, I need 100 pixels left and I need 20 pixels here on the right padding. Okay, max width of 400 pixels. 400 pixels here, because if I look at my finished here, the width of this text, I don't want it to go all the way to the right here. So I want to limit 400 pixels. That's why I put the max width of 400 pixels. Okay, and I think we are good with this one, yes. So inside this text wrapper, I have my H2. So H2, I need a bottom margin of 30 pixels. I need to change the typography. So here's my H2. I'm going to call it title. So I need 30 pixels bottom margin. The typography, what is it again? 4654. So 4654. All right, looks good. And that's it. Okay. So I'm gonna replace this text with the real one. Just copy and paste. Oops. So I have my first title here. Then the text block. If I look at my text block, any styling I need just to change the size of the font 1624. So my text block here, I'm gonna call it text block. So it's what was the size again? 1624. So 16 height 24. All right. I'm gonna copy and paste the text. Copy, paste. All right. And my link here. So I just need to change, here the top margin. I'm gonna have to change this one to 30. and change the color of the dots and arrow. So to do that, I'm gonna change the text first. So learn. Oh, come on. Learn more. I have to change, I think, the font as well, which is here medium, size 16, and I have a 400, so medium, size 16. Yep. Okay, and I think the font is not the same, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's alright. Okay, I'm gonna change this one to EXO. All right. So now I'm gonna change the color of this arrow here. So the image, I'm gonna go to my images. I have my red arrow. Select my arrow tail. Change the background color to the same red. So I'm gonna select here. Yep. My red. And no, it's not exactly the same. Come on. I want, okay, this one. That's the red I want. Gonna copy this this code here and go to the 4 dots and paste the new background color. Okay. Okay. And okay. All right, so I have my new link. Okay, looks good. I think we just have to deal with this one still. I don't know why it's not moving. Let me check real quick. Yeah, I think it's because we need to force this one here. Yeah, and then minus 50 pixels. There you go. Yeah. So if I go to the settings here to change to invert color, and I have my dot here at the right position. Okay. So we are done with the styling of the first slider and the first text wrapper. So what I'm going to do now is just copy paste and change the image and change the text. So I'm going to go close this here. So I'm gonna here I'm on the slider. So I'll do just add slide here. So I get the second slide and copy paste my background image slider. Select here, go to styling, duplicate class. I'm gonna rename it background image slide 2, and instead of the Taj Mahal, I want the Machu Picchu, and I don't change anything else. All right, same for the third slide, add slide, and I paste my background image in there, duplicate the class, rename it slide 3, and change the image to Petra. Okay, now I have my 3 slide, so that was really quick. I go to the content wrapper, and I'm going to do the same with the text wrapper here. I'm going to copy and paste it, so I get a second one. But here I have to change the positioning. So if I go to my text wrapper here, I can see the first. So if I close this one, so here is the first text wrapper. The first text wrapper position is static. It's the one I want to see when I land here on my project. But then the second one is on top of this one, but behind it. So to put it on top of it, I need to position absolute. And the third one, same. So my second text wrapper here, I'm going to switch from static to position absolute. So first I'm going to duplicate the class here. So I'm going to rename it text wrapper slide 2 and position absolute. Actually, first, before I move it on top of the other one, I'm going to copy and paste the text from the template. So here's my second text. I'm going to show it. So it's display none at the moment. So I'm going to show it and hide the first one just to get the right title and text. So I'm going to just copy this title here, this text there. All right, good. So I now have my second text wrapper with the right text and title and text. So the text wrapper, if I go back to my template, where is it? Here. So I'm here. So position absolute, I need a top margin of 70 pixels and 0% on the left, auto, bottom right. And that's it. So 70 on top, 0% on the left. So where am I here? So here's the first one, here's the second one. So absolute, 70% on top and 0% left. Auto. Good. So as you can see here, my second text is behind my first one. So what I'm going to do now is just hide here the slide 2. I'm going to hide the first one first. And now because I'm going to copy paste the second one to get the third one because it's also absolute positioning. So I can just copy paste it, duplicate the class. I'm going to call it text wrapper slide 3. And basically, I just need to change the text actually. So here, I'm going to hide number 2 and show text wrapper number 3. And I just have to copy paste this. So this one, yes. I just have to copy paste the text, the title and text. So here, I'm going to, not to have to do this here, I'm going to hide also the second one so I can work in good conditions. All right, so I have my title, copy my text, okay, and the learn more is already done. Okay, so we are done with this text, I think. Yeah, so I can now hide the third one, hide the second one, show the first one. So I'm going to just reset the display and do the same here on my template. Okay, where is it? Here. So I have my hide the third one, second one is hide, and reset the first one. Okay, so the styling is good. If I look at my 3 here, I am good with the images, I'm good with the text, so I can now jump into the interactions. So if I look at my my template here, I'm going to close the text content wrapper because the interactions are on the slides here. Those 3 icons, it means there is an interaction happening when this slide is on display. So slide or change here. So that when the slide 1 is on, I want to have those steps here. So basically those steps is to it's to animate the text on the side here. So I want my title. Here it's hidden because I have opacity 0. But let's just have a look at the steps here in this list. So basically I want my title to move down 20 pixels and to go opacity 0. Same with the link. I want to, here is to move down 20 pixels and opacity 0. And same with the text block, opacity 0 and move down 20. Why do I want that? Because when I want my slide to appear, I want my text to move a bit from the bottom to the top and appear nicely with a nice opacity animation. So as you can see here, every time my text is moving up and opacity from 0 to 100%. So that's why I need to set here those few steps as an initial state. Then we'll have a look later of those. Let's first build those 6 first initial steps. So done. Let's go to my new project here. I select my slide 1 and I want element trigger here, slider change. Slide in view, I want to start an animation. Click the plus. So I'm going to call it slider 1 on. And I want my, in the text wrapper here, text wrapper slide 1, I want my, I'm going to close this link here. Yeah, I want my title to move down 20 pixels in initial state. So I have to set here initial state, down 20 pixels. Okay. I also want this title to go opacity 0%. All right, now the text block, I want to move down 20 pixels and to go opacity 0%. And the link here, I want it to move down as well, 20 pixels and opacity 0%. Okay, so I have my 6 steps for initial. So if I go back to my template, I just want to show you something first. Here, slide on. If you look at those steps here, they are selected element. They are not class element, because when my slide 1 is on, I just want this, like the linked text to appear, not all the text. If I switch from selected element to class here, all the text elements are going to show at the same time, so I cannot read it. I just want the one which are in my text wrapper slide 1. So to do this, I need to change. Here I go back to my slider 1 on, sorry. Here you can see it's the class, so I need to change all the steps from class to selected element. So I'm going to select my title here and opacity here with the command button and select element here. And actually I don't need to do this. I don't need to select both. If I just go to here, select element, it's going to change to, yeah, both together. Select element. Okay, so I now have my steps as selected element only. Okay, done. Go back to my slider here. Next, I want those steps to happen. So I want my background image to scale to 1.04 in 2.2 seconds with this easing out scene. That's the effect you see when the image is on. You see it's zooming in a bit, scaling up. So that's why I need these steps here. Every time my slider is on, I want to zoom in a little bit on the image. So background image, I want 2.5 seconds, 1.04 out scene. Slide 1. Okay, so I'm going to select my background image in my slider here, background image at 0%. Here I want to scale 2.5 seconds, 1.04 out scene. Okay, that's our first step. Same here, I'm going to change from class to selected element. Done. Let's go back to the template. Slide 1. Here's the first step, done. Second step is the text wrapper here. Basically, I want the whole wrapper to show. And when I switch to another slide, I want it to hide. So basically, text wrapper, show, easy. Let's go back to my component. Slide 1, I select my text wrapper 1. And at 0%, at 0 seconds, I want it to show, easy. Okay, let's go back to the template, slider, slide 1 on. This is done. Next step. So the next step, I want to show those elements step by step. So first I want to show the title, then I want to show the text, and then I want to show the link. So the title, I want to go to opacity 100% and move back to original position at 0.4 seconds here. So 0.4 delay, 0.4 duration, opacity 100%, and the move is 0.4 delay, 0.5 duration, back to initial position with an ease out. Okay, let's go back to my slider here, slide 1. So I want my title. Here I want to move, delay 0.4, duration 0.5, ease out, move back to original position, and I also want the opacity to go to 100% in 0.4 seconds. Done. Then I want, it's going to be my, so here's the title is done. Then I want my text block, so the content here, same opacity 100% and move to original position. But this one is delay 0.5, so 10 milliseconds after the title, I want my content to appear. And same with the link here, another 10 milliseconds later, I want my link to go opacity 100% and to move to original position. So I'm going to do all those steps at once now. Start the change, slide 1. So I want my text block here to move, delay 0.5, ease out, move to original position, and I want also to go opacity 100%. And then I want my link at move to original position, duration 0.5, but delay 0.6, so 10 milliseconds after the previous component. And I want my opacity to go 100%, 0.6, 0.5. Good. No, that was 0.4, yeah. And this one 0.4 as well. Done. Okay, let's go. I think we've done all the steps. Yeah, we have all the steps we need for this first slide. Okay. Nice. Now I'm going to build the. First, I'm going to have a look at the slide out. So what do I want when my slider is moving out? I want my link to go opacity 0%. I want my text block to go opacity 0%, and the title opacity 0%. So all those three, I want them to happen in 0.3 seconds. So done. I'm going to go back to my slider here. So slider out of view, I want to start an animation. I'm going to call it slider 1 off. And in the slider 1 off, I want my title to move. No, it's not. First is the opacity. So I want my title to go opacity 0%, sorry, in 0.3 seconds. Same with the text block, opacity 0% in 0.3 seconds, and the link as well, opacity 0% in 0.3 seconds. Okay, I have my first few steps here. Let's go back to this one. Slide out. So those 3 steps are done. I have to change to selected element as well here. I have to do this. Okay, so at 0.3, so after my opacity is down to 0%, all those steps, I want them to happen. So I want to move to 0 to down to 20 pixels, sorry. I want to move the text block down to 20 pixels. I want to move the title down 20 pixels, the link as well down 20 pixels, and I want to hide the text wrapper. I want to hide the text wrapper. All those steps here, I want them to happen in 0 seconds, so instantly. Done. So if I go back to my slider here, slide off. So I want my title at 0.3 here. I want to move it to 20 pixel down, 0.0 text block, move down 20 pixels, 0 link, move to minus 20 pixels, 0 seconds, and I want my text wrapper, so this one here, to hide. Okay, so I still have to change those elements here, so I'm going to select all 3 using the shift and switch from class to selected elements. Okay, I am done with the slider 1 off. Let's go back to this one, just cross check, but I think, no, there's one more step here. It's the background image. I want it to scale. So remember when I, on the slider on, my image is scaled back to, I scaled to 1.04. This time I want to scale it back to 1 at 0.7 seconds. So I need a delay of 0.4, scale back to 1. So go back to my slider here, slide off, and I want my background image to scale, delay 0.4, duration 0. I want it to scale to 1. Okay, I am done with the slider off 1. So now I can basically duplicate those interactions for the second and third slides. So let's preview those interactions first. So yeah, on the first slide I see, so second slide there's nothing because there is no interaction. But when I put my first slide on, I can see, so the image is zooming in and the text is appearing nicely on the right, moving from bottom to top and with a nice opacity. So that's exactly what I want. So what I'm going to do now is just duplicate those interactions to the second and third slide. So to do that, I'm just going to go to the slider mask here, slide 2. So I want element trigger to select slider change, start a new animation, and here I'm just going to duplicate this one here, slider 1 on, select here, rename it slider 2 on, and then I have to make some changes here because all those elements, it's linked to text wrapper slide 1, but I want to change those elements to text wrapper slide 2 to appear the second title or second content. So to do that, I'm just gonna open here my text wrapper slide 2 and select my H2 and H2 here. Here, selected element, I'm just going to right click, change target, and here in my text wrapper slide 2, I just switch from this H2 to this one here, and that's done. I think this one, yeah, I could have done this one as well together. So I select this one here, change target, and I want this one here. Then I'm gonna select the link. So this one, this one, this one, and this one, all 4 links. Right click, change target. I want this link down there, and then same with the text block. I select all those text blocks, right click, change target, and I select my new text block here from the text wrapper slide 2. Okay, as you can see now, they switch from selected elements to class, so I have to select all those elements as well, switch to selected elements, and yes, here I have to switch as well the background image slide 1. I want to change target to background image slide 2 to show the second picture, and the text wrapper here is text wrapper slide 1. I want to change to text wrapper slide 2. Done. And there is one more step I need to put is so here, if I go back to my preview here, so here is the text wrapper slide 1. We can see text wrapper slide 2 is hidden, is display hidden. So I need to add here a step where I show my text wrapper slide 2 when my slide 2 is on. So to do that, I'm just gonna select my text wrapper slide 2 here and activate here at zero. Sorry, no. It's the initial state, sorry. At initial state, I want my text wrapper slide 2 to go hidden. That's what I need. Because if not, then I'm gonna mix the text wrapper slide 1 and text wrapper slide 2 together. So initial state, text wrapper slide 2, hidden. Done. So that's good. Now I'm gonna do the same for the slide out of view. So start an animation. I want to duplicate the slide 1 off, so I'm gonna duplicate and rename the second one here. I'm gonna rename it slide 2 off. And same, I need to change target of those elements, so I'm gonna select here H2, so I'm holding the command key to select several steps. So H2, I want to change target to this one here from my text wrapper slide 2. Link, change target to this link, and the text block, right click, change target to text block. All right. Now, and the last, background image slide 1, change target to background image slide 2. Okay, and don't forget the last one here, text wrapper slide 1. I want to change target to text wrapper slide 2. Okay, I still have to change, so those elements, they went back to affect class, so I have to change them. If I hold the shift key, change them to selected elements. So we're good. Those two here, it's only one element, so we can leave the class one. Done. So if I go to my preview, how does it look? So first one looks good. Second one looks good. So I'm just gonna do the same for the third one, and we'll be done with this component. So I just have to go, I'm gonna close this slider here, slide 3. Interaction, so I want to slider change, start an animation, duplicate the second one, slider 2 on, I'm going to duplicate it, select this one, rename slider 3 on. And all those steps are good. I just have to change the target. So I'm going to select H2, 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 H2 here. Right click, change target. Go to my third text wrapper. Select my H2 in my text wrapper slide 3. So that's good. Then I select my link, link. Right click, change target. Link here in my third text wrapper. And the text block. Right click, change target, text block. Okay. Background image slide 2, change target to background image slide 3. This one, the third image. And the text wrapper slide 2, change image to text wrapper slide 3. And we are good with this one. Still, I have to change. So the title, the link, and the text block, I want to select element only. Yes, that's good. Done. And same for the slider out view. I'm gonna start an animation, duplicate the slide 2 off, duplicate, select this one, rename it slide 3 off, and change those elements. H2, change target, H2, link, oops, no, not title, change target. Oh yeah, that's right, title, sorry. Link 8, I want to get this one here. And the text block, I want to get this text block here. Good. This text wrapper, I want the third one. And the background image slide 2, I want to change to background image slide 3. Once again, I select those 3 here, and no, not this one. I want to select those 3, yes, and affect selected elements only. And we should be good. If I go to preview, I got my first one here, second one, and third one. If I go to my, I'm just gonna activate the automatic sliding. So autoplay slides here, and switch duration to 400. So if I go to my preview here, so I have here my template with autoplay for the 3 slides. Yep. And here is my new component. That's it, exactly the same. We just need maybe some change here, so it's going to be real quick. You see those dots here, they have more space than mine. I think that's because if I go to styling here, no, if I go to the settings, spacing is 10 pixels, and if I go to mine, spacing is only 3 pixels. So I'm going to do 10. And if I go back to preview, if you look when I switch from one slide 1 to 2, for example, the image, so slide 1 is staying in the background, but slide 2 is sliding over it. Instead of here, it's sliding all together. So to do this, I'm just gonna switch animation here from slide to slide over. And if I preview, that looks better. Yeah. That looks, so here is our template. And here is the new slider, exactly the same. So we're done with this tutorial. That's it for this tutorial. As I said, it's a little bit more advanced than usual, but remember that the more you practice, the better you get at using Webflow Interactions. So keep on practicing. If you want to visit the live preview of this component or clone it in Webflow, I put the links in the description, so go check it out. And if you want to find more Webflow components, interactions, and tutorials, go visit NoCode.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get all the new videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao, ciao.